Yes.
Very good.
We're live now. Good luck.
Thank you very much. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Today is a special day, a unique day, that God has given me for us to come and see another day or another training. Today we are having a unique training. I need to appreciate every one of you listening right now. Those that are not listening, I want you to pay full attention to it so that God will bless us immediately we finish. Right now, we are going on the slide. Like here you see in my slide 1 here, you can see solving problems for mission by the special grace of God, being the Vice Chancellor of IIU, and I thank God for today, of which I'm going to talk about the solving problems for mission. My name is Charles Ebhoria, Academic Senior Professor, Chap.General. I appreciate God for today. In order to appreciate God the more, I want us to make an open prayer, which is prayer for humility. Oh, Father, give us humility, which realizes its ignorance, admits its mistakes, recognizes its needs, welcome advice, accept rebuke. Help us always to praise rather than to criticize, to sympathize rather than to discourage, to build rather than to destroy, and to think of people at their best rather than at their worst. This we ask for the name's sake. The other slide 4, we are appreciating every listener and we are welcoming you once again. And you are going to experience fulfillment after this exercise, after this training. Our journey on earth, we are on a mission. We are being reminded that we should be near perfection so as to do what God wants us to do, and at the end, God will crown us. We are welcome. God is the only one that is perfect in every situation, but we must be near perfection. We go to the next slide that talks about the objective of today. The next slide, slide 5. Slide 5. Slide 5 talks about the objective of today. When you have completed the topic, you'll be able to do the following. Identify problems that needs to be solved. Confidently apply methods and tools to solve problems. Slide 6, talk about the contents. In section 1, we are going to recognize the problem. Recognizing the problem, we are going to know what is the problem. Recognizing the problem. Accepting ownership of the problem. Section 2 talks about analyzing the problem, stating the problem, finding the causes. Section 3 talks about choosing and implementing the solution. We go to the next slide, slide 7. It talks about your expectations. What are your expectations like? One key expectation from the program. A question I would like answer is, write it on the chat box. I would like to know more about this. Put it on the chat box. My major interest is this. Put it on the chat box. At the end of the period, we know whether we have completed it or not. In slide 8, which you are seeing right now, talks about me being the facilitator, the academician, senior professor, Dr. Chap.General Charles Ebhoria. My over 30 years plus experience the education. By the special grace of God, I'm an fellow in International Institution of Chartered Humanitarian, and also fellow in Peace Operation Training Institute, fellow in Data Processing Nigeria, fellow in Institute of Managers, Administrator of Nigeria, member of Chartered Accountant of Nigeria, member Chartered Insurance Institute of Nigeria, BSc, MBA, Admin and Marketing, BSc, Accounting and Finance, PhD Education, Peacekeeping, Theology, Psychology, a member of the ARIAN, a member, an associate registered member of one of the insurance body in Nigeria, a theologian. What are the rules like? That's the next slide, which is keep beginner's mind. Remember freedom to choose. Choose opportunity to learn from each other. Observe a modern training etiquette. Phones, punctuality, enjoy and have fun. We should note, towards the end of the program, a link will be sent to you, expecting you to fill the form so that you'll be given certificates. Feel free to comment on the chat box. Free. Like what you are saying right now, that is slide 10. It talks about the skill diagnostic survey for problem solving. These are what you're supposed to know before now. Knowing this, you summarize all what I'm going to say today. What are the things you need to know about problem solving in my diagnostic survey skill? Step 1 talks about respond to the following statement by writing a number from the rating scale that follows in the left-hand column, which is called pre-assessment. Your answer should reflect your attitude, your behavior as they are now, not as you would like them to be. Be honest about it. This instrument is designed to help you discover your level of competence in problem solving and creativity so that you tailor your learning to your specific needs. Your scoring rate there, which is a rate scale. Like if you score yourself 1, that means you are strongly disagree. You score yourself 2, that shows that you are disagree. You score yourself slightly 3, you slightly disagree. You score yourself 4, slightly agreed. And you score yourself 5, which is agreed. You score yourself 6, strongly agreed. What are the assessment like? It goes like this. When I encountered a routine problem, 1, I state clearly and explicitly what the problem is. I avoid trying to solve it until I have defined it. You score yourself either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. I generate more than one alternative solution instead of identifying only one obvious solution. You score yourself. I keep in mind both long-term and short-term consequences as I evaluate various alternative solutions. You score yourself. I gather as much information as I can about the problem is before trying to solve it. You score yourself. When I encounter a routine problem, 5, I keep steps in the problem solving process. Distinct. I define the problem before proposing alternative solution, and I generate alternative before solution, before selecting a single solution. You score yourself. Number 6, when faced with an ambitious or difficult problem that does not have an easy solution, what do I do? Number 6, I define problem in multiple ways. I don't limit myself to just one problem definition. 7, you score yourself. I am flexible in the way I approach the problem by trying out several different alternative methods rather than relying on the same approach every time out. 8, I find underlying patterns among elements in the problems so that I can uncover underlying dimension or principle that helps me understand the problem. 9, I unfreeze my thinking by asking lots of questions about the nature of the problem before considering ways to solve it. You score yourself. Number 10, I think about the problem from both lefts, logical side of my brain, and the right, intuitive side of my brain. 11, to help me understand the problem and generate alternative solution, I use analogies, metaphors that helps me identify what else this problem is like. You score yourself. 12, I consider whether or not the exact opposite definition of my initial definition is also true. 12, when faced with an ambitious or difficult problem that does not have an easy solution, I avoid selecting a solution until I have several possible alternatives. 14, I break down the problem into smaller components, analyze each one separately. 15, I have specific techniques that I use to help develop creative and innovative solutions to problems. 16, I help arrange opportunity for individuals to work on their ideas outside the constraint of their normal job assignments. 17, I make sure that there are divergent points of view represented or expressed in every complex problem-solving situation. You score yourself. I sometimes make outrageous suggestions to stimulate people to find new way of approaching problem. 19, I try to acquire information from individuals outside the problem-solving group who will be affected by the decision, mainly to determine their preferences and expectations. 20,
Okay, we internet problem. I think Professor Charles join again. We talk for this very important topic. I think he back. Professor Charles, can you hear me? Professor Charles? Identity problemagoag. შემოგვიერთდა და გავაგრძელებთ. Professor Charles, can you hear me? Can you hear me now, Professor Charles?
Yeah, what happened then?
I don't know. We lost
That's what is the problem. Yeah.
No problem, no problem.
Let's go to the slides.
Yes, it's 10 slide. We continue, don't worry.
12 slides. Where's 12 slide now? Slide 12.
12, 1 minute.
Slide 12. Slide 12. Okay. Okay, that's it. That's it. Okay, slide 12. That is number. Okay, yes, you're right. I sometimes involve outsider, e.g., customers or recognized experts in solving problem discussion. 21. I try to provide recognition not only to those who come up with creative ideas, the ideas of champions, but also to those who also support others' idea, supporters, and who provide resources to implement them, orchestrators. 22. I encourage informed rule breaking in pursuit of my creative solution. Having looked at this 22, we can now see that if you are able to do it very well, it will give you 3 areas of skills. You will be having 3 skills. What are the 3 skills? You'll be having analytical problem-solving skill, you'll be having creative problem-solving skill, and you'll be having fostering creative problem-solving skill. These three skills are here in the survey. What are they? Like the analytical problem-solving skill, you can get those from your survey 1 to 5. 1 to 5. Like for instance, now you have number 3. I keep in mind both long-term and short-term consequences as I evaluate various alternative solutions. You can ask this analytical. Number 4 now said, I gather as much information as I can about the problem is before trying to solve. You can ask this analytical. You can also see in a number 1 question, number 2, I generate more than one alternative solution instead of identifying only one previous solution. That shows that you have the skill of analytical. Also, when we now look at the creative problem-solving skills, we can now see from number 6 to 15, it talks about creative problem-solving skill. For instance, in number 6 now, we read the other time, I define problem in multiple ways. I don't limit myself to just one problem definition. Look at that. Number 7, I am flexible in the way I approach the problem by trying out several different alternative methods rather than relying on the same approach every time out. Look at that. It's what you call creative. You are being creative. For instance, now you look at number 11. You look at number 11, number 12. I consider whether or not the exact opposite definition of my initial definition is also true. Look at that. That shows you have that skill of creativity. So let us look at the fostering creativity skill from 16 to 22. Which talks about, for instance, for 16, it talks about I help arrange opportunities for individuals to work on their ideas outside the constraint of their normal job assessment. That shows you have a fostering creativity skill. For number 18 now, I sometimes make outrageous suggestions to stimulate people to find new ways of approaching problems. Look at that. That shows you have fostering creative skill. Look at number 22. I encourage informed rule breaking in pursuit of a creative solution. That shows you have a fostering creative skill. That is that about that slide. Let us now look at slide 13. Slide 13, which we are now. This is slide 13. Slide 13 talks about a case study. No, slide 13. The one you just showed now is slide 14. I mean slide 13. Slide 13 talks about a case study of what is going on in the church. The case study which require assessment. For instance, now it tells us about this case study of St. Peter Catholic Church. It says that St. Peter Catholic Church was a vibrant Catholic community church in Lagos with a population of 1,500 parishioners who were mostly middle income earners, and we are generous in giving of their resources to the church. However, due to the nature of their job, the majority were only able to attend one additional weekday parish activity in addition to Sunday masses, which they attended with their families. It also tells us again, over a period of 1 year, almost 1/3 of the parishioners are left for other parishes, and some cases left the Catholic Church. Those that left the parish seem happy. Look at that, with their new places of worship, while Sunday masses became more fulfilling for those that remained. We are willing to spend more time on Sunday to compensate for their limited time during the week. And Chief Donatu Okoye, the PPC chairman, that is the parish pastoral chairman, together with some other members of the parish pastoral council, found out that the reason for the mass exodus was that the church was too hot on Sunday and that the public address system broke down. Look at that. Most parishioners had complained about the public address system as they could hardly hear the priest. Most had complained of the impact it was having on their spiritual growth. Some had also complained of not seeing the altar among several other complaints. Chief Okoye, the chairperson, seized the opportunity of St. Peter's 10th year anniversary to launch an ambitious renovation project that saw majority of the ex-parishioners contributing and eventually returning to St. Peter's. Look at that. Those who that left now, they now came back because of that launching they did. Air conditioner were installed. Large screen were introduced in area with limited line of sight to the altar. A special area was carved out for nursing mothers and their babies. The public address system, which had been particularly bad, was replaced with a new one. The St. Peter's became the go-to church again, and parishioners engaged was on the upward string. Most people were able to attend weekdays activities in the church, especially the Bible study. 8 months after the renovation, everything seemed to be going on well, and harvest was only 1 week away. Thursday before their harvest, the Reverend Father Collins, the parish priest, was in his office reflecting on how things had gone quite well in the parish when suddenly he heard on his door. It was the maintenance officer, Ayodeji Williams, who came to inform him that the public address had not been working since Tuesday after the evening mass. Wednesday mass was also celebrated in the grotto. The discussion now, what are the problems here and how do we solve them? Look at that. What are the problems here? We can see from what has been said so far, they were having issues. The issue they were having, nobody was able to address it. They started leaving. For them to see what is going on, when the service is going, they cannot see. So they complain bitterly until the vice chairman now came on board and did what? And used opportunity to do some launching. Before you know, all those people that left, they now start coming. Before you know, when after the launching, they did a lot of things in the church, innovation. Haven't done that innovation, what happened? Everybody was happy. So look at that. So in slide 14 we are seeing now. That is slide 14 we are seeing now. The handout 2, which states that the following stating the problems. What are the problems? We have 3 areas. We have 3 areas. What are them? We have diversion problems, we have potential problems, and we have improvement problems. Right on the chart box, what we mean by diversion problem, what we also mean by potential problem, and what we mean by improvement problems. In slide 15, which we are seeing right now, we see that another handout shows about verifying information. How do we verify? Look at this case study. At 5:45 p.m., John and Mary were walking on the broad streets on their way to attend evening mass. This bus will make us late. Look at that, they were saying, this bus will make us late. John said it. I am not sure. Mary replied, there is a 2-way line ahead. We will arrive on time. Now, give a tick to the right answer. Give a tick to the right answer. I repeat again. At 5:45 p.m., John and Mary were walking on the broad street on their way to attend evening mass. This bus will make us late, John said. I am not sure. Mary replied, there is a 2-way. Give a tick if it's right. What the statement that I read now, the case study I just said. John and Mary are on the bus. You tick if it's right or not. Mass has started. The bus will go faster on the 2-way streets. They will be on time if the bus goes faster. You tick. John is worried about being late. You tick if it's right. They are on a 1-way street. You tick if it's right. Right on the chatbot. Mary thinks that everything will be all right. Another case study on slide 16, talks about a laptop of the father. What happened about the laptop? The father Tom had a laptop which he carried with him everywhere as he depended on it to function effectively, despite the fact that the laptop could only function with electricity because of the manufacturer had stopped producing its battery. About 2 months ago, the laptop developed the problem of shutting down and restarting itself suddenly, resulting in the loss of any unsaved data. This happened if infrequently. It could function normally for a number of days before this happened. Father Tom decided to identify causes of this problem by himself. He observed that this malfunction never happened in his office, the chancery, or while visiting other priests, but only in his home. Additionally, the malfunction could occur when he was using Word, when he was using Excel or PowerPoint or YouTube. It was not specified to any program. It seems to happen often between 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. and on the rare occasion between noon and 2 p.m. when he went home for lunch. As he reflected on the power supply situation to his home, he recalled that there had been no special changes since the problem began in the 10-year-old father's house, and no new instrument had been installed. The house was supplied by 2 different sources of electricity to ensure steady supply, and there was an automatic switch that adjusted for unstable and frustrating voltage between the 2 sources. This operation happened in half a second and was notifiable. Father Tom had tried all the different sockets, and there was no differences in the malfunctioning. He reflected that his neighborhood was very quiet, and the only changes were the addition of the new apartment 3 months ago. He wondered if this could be responsible for the problem with the laptop. Look at that. In slide 17, we are being asked to do what? To scoring key and comparing data. Just an exercise that time. We have done that. We have done this one from analysis. I gave us 22 questions as regards survey. This one answers it. So let us go to slide 18. Slide 18 also, we have done that. Slide 18, we have done that. We have interpreted it over there. We'll go to slide 19. It talks about reflect and discuss. Reflect and discuss, slide 19. Why do leaders need problem-solving skill? Why do leaders need problem-solving skill? Write it on the chat board. Why do you think leaders need problem-solving skill? So my own is this. Why do they need it? Yes, leaders need it. Leaders' job is to solve problems and make decisions. That is why they need it. 2, problems should be considered as opportunities. When you have problem, you must consider it as an opportunity. Those are the 2 main reasons. We go to slide 21. It talks about recognizing the problem. Recognizing the problem. Yeah, we have to recognize the problem. And recognizing the problem, there are things you should know. If you have any input, put it on the chat box so that we also discuss. By the time I finish, I will not look how it looks like. And also in slide 23, the next slide 23, it talks about common mistakes. There are some common mistakes we do, which we never take notice of. So what are the common mistakes? Put it on chat box. Common mistake like hasting assessment leads to misunderstanding. When you are hasting the assessment, leads to what? Misunderstanding. Solving systems is not the main cause. Solving systems is not the main cause. 3, not assessing properly associated risks. Not assessing properly associated risks. 4, choosing the best solution. Choosing the best solution without considering its feasibility. Choosing the best solution without considering its feasibility. Slide 24. Slide 24 talk about what is problem. You can put what is problem. What do you think problem is all about? What is problem? Write on the chat box what you understand by problem. To me, problem is a deviation. Problem is a deviation. What are the causes of problem? Causes are not clear. The causes of problem are not clear. What are the solutions? Solutions are not yet found. Solutions are not yet what? Found. And what are the deviation? We have the standard deviation, and we have what we call the reality. Reality. We go to slide 25. In slide 25 talks us about recognizing the problem. Recognizing the problem. We are past this level. Recognizing the problem. What are the things when you are recognizing the problem? There are things you need to take note of. Actively recognize problems before they happen. Actively recognize problems before they happen. Assess the magnitude of the problem. To assess the magnitude of the problem. Slide 26 talks about the types of problems. Write on the chat box what you understand by the types of problem. To me, we have three types of problem. We have deviation problem, we have potential problem, we have improvement problem. Write on the chat box your understanding of these three type of problem shown. Slide 27 talks about stating the problem. Stating the problem, we have already done that one. Stating the problem, we have done that one before. We go to slide 28. Accepting ownership of the problem. Yes. Are you the owner of the problem? This question arises. Are you responsible and authorized for the job or part of the job that has the problem? What will you do if you did not have responsibility and authority over a problem? What will you do? Put it on the chat box. Slide 29 talks about, we have which is the second section, analyzing the problem. Write on the chat box how we analyze problem. Slide 30 talks about analyzing the problem. Write on the chat box what you mean, how problem can be analyzed. To me, we can analyze problem in three areas. What are the three areas? Stating the problem and identifying possible causes, and also checking for true causes. Checking for what? True causes. We go to slide 31. Slide 31 talks about activity 3. This activity 3 is also a case study, but we need to reason it together. It talks about three scientists and the balloon. Three scientists and the balloon. Note, listen to the reading and answer on the chat box. Listen to the reading and answer on the chat box. What are it like? Three excellent scientists were sent to an island to undertake a very important task that affected the Earth's existence, to save human from invasion of people from outside space. The first scientist is an outstanding mathematician, astronomer. The second scientist is an astrophysicist, and the third one is leading biologist and surgeon. When arriving near the island, they discovered that the balloon is leaking air. If one of them does not sacrifice himself, the balloon will not make it to the island, and all the three will die. Now, question. The problem is, who of these three should jump out of the balloon? Who from these three will jump out of the balloon? Look at that. Put your answer on the chat box. Who among the three scientists will jump out of the balloon so that everyone will be safe? Slide 32. Slide 32 now talks about stating the problem. This can either be done correctly or incorrectly. When you are stating the problem, it can be done correctly or incorrectly. If done correctly, it will decide half of problem-solving process. If done correctly, it decides which problem to solve. But if the problem is not stated correctly, it gets stuck. Solves a real problem, does not solve the right problem. Therefore, stating the problem should be done objectively and honestly. Slide 33 talks about how to state the problem. Which object has deviation? What worry or potential threats might the deviation bring? Note, with improvement problem, stating the problem just expresses concern about the objective, e.g., how to. In slide 34, we talk about verifying the information, just like we discussed the other time about Mary and John. We have discussed that one, slide 34 in slide 15. Slide 35, looking for the possible causes by doing the following. Asking for other experiences, asking why, using process of standards, using fishbone diagram. What do you understand by asking for other experiences? By asking why, by asking by using the process standard, and also by using a fishbone diagram right on the chart box. What you mean by that? In slide 36, we look at looking for the possible causes. Ask why. So when you are looking for the possible causes, you are asking why. Why? Anytime any question being asked, say why, so as to know the problem, how to solve it. As you are saying why, you will also be answering the possible causes. Why? And slide 37 talks about looking for the answer to the problem, which is using process and standard. When you are using process and standard, the advantages are there. It is very fast, very convenient, and accurate. It's a very also economical. And the only drawback there, the only disadvantage there is that it is hard to express the relationship between the factors. It is hard to express the relationship between the factors. When we look at slide 38, looking for the possible causes, using the fishbone diagram, this is a technique that defines possible causes that creates the effects, often applied in a team, also called cause effects or Ashikawa diagram. We also have a slide 39 talked about the fishbone diagram. Write the problem statement in the problem box. List the main factors related to the problem. List more detailed factors in each main factors. Consider all the factors, finding out possible causes. That's what we do in the fishbone diagram. In that diagram, you put your answer into it. That's what you are seeing there right now. In slide 40, we talk about some main causes. What are the main causes? We look at on production aspect, we look at machine, we look at methods, we look at material, we look at man. On services aspects, the causes are the policy, the procedures, the plans, and also the people. When we look at the other factors, we look at the environment, e.g., like building, like logistics and space. When we talk of the other factors, we also look at the measurement, e.g., we look at the calibration and the data collection. We look at slide 41. Slide 41 talks about the case study we experienced earlier about the public address system at St. Peter Catholic Church. We have discussed that one. We can see the main causes there. We talk about the equipment, the people, the process, the infrastructure. We talk about the frequent breakdown of the addressing system. There was no proper organization. There was, because of one challenge or other, people don't want to talk until the vice chairman now came on board, helped out. They did some launching. Before you know, those people that left, they all come back. You can now see people, equipment, process, infrastructure. These are the causes. So we must guide against all these areas, making sure that we are transparent, we are open in anything that we are doing. We don't need to hide everything and start giving ourselves tension. We look at slide 42, section 3, showing and implementing a solution. When you are setting the objective, you also look at what is the expected outcome. When you set what is the expected, you must consider that one. The problem can be solved if you put it, if the problem can be solved, if also suggest solution should include the must, the should, and the could. All this should be considered, taken into consideration. We look at slide 44. Slide 44 talks about finding solution. There are two approaches of finding solution: logical approach and creative approach. Right on the chat box, what do you mean by logical approach and creative approach? Slide 45 talks about creating techniques or creating thinking. Connect the 9 points. Collect the 9 points with 2 lines without raising the pen. Connect the 9 points with 2 lines without raising the pen in slide 45. This is very important. We draw a 2 line we are drawn. Yes, 2 lines we are drawn. That is it. 2 lines we are drawn, of which they said you should now connect the line. This is it. 2 lines we are drawn. Now connect it to form nine lines connection without stopping, without raising your barrel up. Connect it. So what are we saying? When you are doing critical thinking, you go outside the box. Outside the box, there is something to you draw the line out and connect. Before you know, you are having nine points. All this require critical thinking. Very important in analyzing problem. Also in slide 46, we talk about the brainstorming to find solution. Brainstorming to find solution. There are certain things you must do. There are certain things you must not do. There are certain things you must guard against. What are the things you should not do? Don't do. Criticism. You don't criticize. One, you don't do what? Don't be pessimistic. Don't be testy. Don't be unfair. Don't be biased. Don't go into too details. What are the do? Don't say yes, but look at that. Don't say yes, but don't say no, because don't say this one is already mentioned. Don't say that one is not effective. Don't say it is nonsense. Don't say it cannot be done. Look at that. And there are certain things you must do. What are those things you must do? You must also contribute many ideas. When we are brainstorming, you must contribute many ideas. You must think positively. You must forgive. You must respect others' ideas. There are certain things you say when you are brainstorming. You do what? We can do it. We can do it. Say we can do it. Also say, why not? Why not? We can do it. Also say, let's think more about this. Let's think more about this. Say it. Also say, more ideas, please. More ideas, please. Also say, we can. And also say, try this. These are the things to say when you are brainstorming. So looking at slide 47, we look at slide 47. It talks about brainstorming also in the area of process. When you are doing processing, when you are using brainstorming process, in any process, what you need to do, you need to assign roles. You need to assign roles, and also you need to inform the objective. Inform the objective, and also inform the time and the rules. When you are doing processing, you also try to group related ideas. When you are doing processing work, you do evaluate and choose the most valuable ideas. Slide 48 talks about the handout about Father Storm laptop. We talked about it in slide 16. Slide 49, choosing a solution. When you are choosing a good solution, you must be effective, you must be visible, you must be efficient. In slide 50, it talks about feasibility. Feasibility constraints should be considered. What are the solutions? You look at what? The legal implication. You look at the cultural implication. You look at the resources implication. You look at the human implication. You look at the financial implication. And you also look at the rates, the risk implications. When you go to slide 51, it talked about the effectiveness. What we mean by effectiveness? To be effective, you look at the outcome over the cost plus resources plus time equals to maximization. Look at that. In slide 52, you look at the tools involved. What are the tools you need to use? The tools like checklist. You look at the weight and voting. You look at the force field analysis. When you're talking about checklist, you are looking at the solution one. You are looking at the solution 1, 2, 3, whatever solution. You also look at the cost, the time, and the resources. All these are very important when you are doing checklists. And also, when you are doing weighting and voting, you look at the advantage of weighting and voting. It's very fast, yes. Avoiding conflicts. It gets a contribution of teamwork. The only disadvantage here in weighting and voting is the low accuracy. Easily become what? Suspicious or suspended. We look at also slide 55. It talks about the force field analysis. The force field analysis. You look at the area of solution-wise, drive forces and the restraining forces. When you are talking of the force field analysis, you're looking at the driving forces and the restraining forces. In slide 56, you look at implementing solution to be effective. Implementing solution to be effective. When you want to have any solution to be implementing solution to be effective, you look at the following. What is the final solution? What is the final solution? Who is mainly responsible? How long to implement? How about budgets? What sources can be used? Look at that. In slide 57, you also notice for implementation solution. What are the things you must look at? You must look at, do superiors continue to help and support? Do superiors continue to help and support? You also look at, do superiors make sure of sources supplied? You also look at, are you really authorized to implement it? You look at, do you get cooperation from related departments? What will you do when requirements are changed? What will you do? Should you be a professionalist? So these are the things you need to look at. Look at slide 58. It talks about evaluating the implementation. The solution meets agreed objectives. What are these things you must look at? Compare results with agreed objectives. Check if important criteria are achieved. Take note and draw experiences, and now celebrate success. These are the things you do when you are evaluating implementation. You look at those solutions meet agreed objective, compare results with agreed objective, check if important criteria are achieved, take notes and draw experiences, and celebrate success. Slide 59 talks about review and conclusion. Review and conclusion. Any clarification from what I've said so far? Any question, any contribution? In slide 60, it talks about one new thing that you will start doing once you get back to work. One thing that you will stop doing as a result of this section. One thing that you will do differently as a result of this section. Slide 61 talk about, did we meet this expectation? Slide 62 and slide 60 talks about the appreciation. Actually, we need to appreciate IIU. IIU is the leading virtual education system, global brand configuration, which is the most valuable and trusted worldwide and well reputed in delivering innovative programs. Globally, it is trusted name for quality training program and is committed for providing better virtual education to all the young learners of the globe. In a short span of time, IIU has spread its wings in 195 countries and 6 continents under the strong leadership of visionary educationist founder, Sir Advocate Pius Pandit, a committed and inspiring social activist, a passionate leader from the last 2 decades, providing education for students from various social and cultural backgrounds. Thank you very much. I pray that God will come to give us all the knowledge we need. I need to appreciate God, appreciate IIU, appreciate all the core team members, appreciate all the listeners, everybody that are listening, I appreciate you all. And I know by next month, we will do better than this. May God come to strengthen us and empower us with wisdom so that we go about doing what we need to do and what we need to do to His own glory so that we're able to have a global peace all over the world. In my closing prayer, I pray, dear Lord, teach me to be almost true and honest in my emotion, words, and action. Give me the courage to do what is right and noble in your sight so I can be a humble instrument to reflect your light. Amen. Thank you very much, everybody. May God come to strengthen all. May God come to bless us as we keep on running the race, doing what we know best. Thank you very much. If any question, any answer, any question, let me know. I have just 2 minutes. If there's any question, let me know. From the chat box, if there's any question from anybody, let me know. Thank you very much for this great opportunity. I need to give kudos to Dr. Inga. You have really tried. God will come to strengthen you. Thank you very much for this great opportunity. Thank you, everybody, for listening. If you have any question, I will be free to answer it at any time. And I hope you have your link feedback. Try to fill it so as to give you certificate for attending this course. Dr. Inga, can you say 1 or 2 things? I want to hear from you before we close.
You're so wonderful. We are proud of you. Thank you so much. Really amazing presentation. Dear Thank you so much. I share a link, please. Thank you.
Thank you. God bless you. God bless you. It's well with you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.